Coronavirus is in the headlines everywhere. Lockdowns are in place across the world. But somewhere in the world, there's a trans person in lockdown.
Myself, I've been in lockdown for 8 days.
Play the transgender topic intro. Rise and shine, real lights, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about how to survive a lockdown as a trans person. So to all of those cisgendered people at the back of the room, I'll see you later. But in all seriousness, let's jump straight into the video. Hormones. Now, the first issue that you may come across as a trans person is hormones, or therefore the lack of hormones. For me personally, I am on patches. I should point out that these patches are not the patches that I am on. I'm personally on 50 micrograms of estrogen. I mean, if it wasn't for the lockdown, I probably would have started 100 micrograms because I literally just got the letter saying that I'm basically at the starting point for 100 micrograms.
But that's neither here or there.
I'm meant to take 2 of these at one time, and the issue with that is, well, I've only got one left. So you're going to want to make sure that if your country is going on lockdown or is currently on lockdown, that you do get a supply of whatever hormones that you're on, because you really don't want to run out of them midway down like a serious lockdown. Because for many people, hormones does improve people's mental health, and, well, you're in isolation and having your mental health deteriorating because your body and your hormones are like having a panic. Basically a little bit like, I'm okay, I'm fine. And the same really goes to blockers. Some people take a pill every day, some people get an injection once a month. I personally am on a blocker that I need injected into me every 12 weeks. That was a few weeks ago. If this lockdown does go on longer, I may have to panic or find another alternative for me. I understand healthcare in America can be a little bit different, but in the UK, especially if you're with the NHS, it's not very easy to change from injections to like pills, so yeah. Coming out.
Okay, so the first topic I'm going to be talking about here is coming out during quarantine. I believe it can be both a horrid and an amazing time to come out. It can be an amazing time to come out because if you know that the people you're living with are supportive, you'll have a lot of time to discuss everything about it with them, and then it'll make you a lot closer about it and have them be a lot better informed about the topic. If they aren't supportive, it's probably one of the worst times to come out, because then you're like trapped with them, and during that time they could be physically, emotionally, mentally abusive, which is one of the worst things that can happen. If you don't know if they are supportive or not of the community, you can start kind of testing the waters by like asking them about like pride events and just talking about stuff like that and seeing how they react, and then that can be kind of a decision maker about it.
Tucking and binding. Tucking and or binding is something that many trans people do. And of course, when it comes to tucking and binding, there are risks. And well, basically, long story short, you probably shouldn't tuck for 24 hours non-stop, and you probably shouldn't bind for 24 hours non-stop. During these difficult times, I would definitely advise tucking/binding less than you currently do, because, well, you're indoors and no one's really gonna see you other than your family. And well, because you're confined and you're not being as active as you normally would be in a day-to-day life, well, you could injure yourself. And what if you injure yourself during this lockdown and your hospitals are overrun with corona-related stuff? You may find yourself in a very challenging situation. Still want to go ahead tucking and binding, then that's up to you completely. However, make sure, or at least double check, that you're doing it correctly and you feel comfortable and it's not hurting anywhere in particular. I personally would absolutely hate for any of you to get injured. Socializing while isolating.
It can seem like you shouldn't socialize, like that's what you think everybody's telling you, but it really isn't. Socializing doesn't mean going out and hanging out with people. It just means staying in contact, like still talking to them and things like that. At the moment, there are a lot of great ways to stay in contact with people when you can't actually see them, like through texting, like video chats. A really great one is video games, because that's something a lot of people enjoy. And isolation can lead to things like depression and, like, if you do already have it getting worse. So just remember, don't isolate yourself. Try to stay in contact with everybody. Even though it might seem odd, try to enjoy the quarantine time.
To lead to the ending of this video, I'd just like to say that if you are wanting to socialize with other trans people around the world or whatever, I personally do have a Discord server, and I'll make sure to link that down below so you can talk to me, talk to my friends, talk to other people who watch my content, and well, hopefully that can boost your morale and help improve your mental health. But on that note, thank you ever so much for watching, and remember as always to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you peeps in the next video. Goodbye. Bye.